Should cyclists have insurance? But more to the question, if cyclists should have insurance, what about dog walkers? Should dog walkers have insurance? Should runners have insurance? I mean, if you're a dog walker, what if the dog bites someone? If you're a runner, what if you run into someone's Volvo V70 and break the mirror off of it? Happened to me twice. Doing the other kind of damage, really. I mean, so they're basically, what they're proposing is that speed limits apply to cyclists. Okay, yeah, that kind of makes logical sense. If a car's only allowed to do 20 mile an hour, then although a 20 mile an hour speed limit in a car is ridiculous, that is just ridiculously slow, in my opinion. That's just like, why? But if a bike is, if a car has to obey by a speed limit, then a bike should have to abide by a speed limit as well. But also, what about someone running? There are people who can run faster than 20 mile an hour. That's how ridiculous a 20 mile an hour speed limit is, I know. But that's, do they have to have a number plate stuck to their backside? And, if they're running at more than 20 miles an hour, do they get a fine? Do you need running insurance just in case you run into somebody? What about mobility scooters? Do they not need insurance? Because, if you're running over all the baked beans or knocking stuff off the shelves or, anything like that, really. It's just kind of a bit ridiculous, really. And, realistically, car insurance, in my opinion, should be optional, like mobile phone insurance. In my opinion, unless you've got a car worth £60,000 or under, it ain't worth insuring. Let's say average cost of insurance is £1,500 a year, 10 years, £15,000 right there, just wasted on insurance. And I've never had an accident, although I do have to have insurance. I've never had an accident. But we have NHS in the UK, so healthcare is not the issue. It's the if you hit someone else's car and damage someone else's car. But realistically, if everybody just agreed to take, it's your own risk to drive your car on the road, or you can get insurance just in case someone does hit you to protect you, so you get another car. A bit like if you damage your own mobile phone or laptop or whatever, then realistically you'd be better off. For the amount of times that you're going to have an accident, you'd be better off not having the insurance financially. It's just kind of one of those things. It's just priced to the point where it's not worth it. And at the minute, it's not worth it, but you have to have it by law. At the minute, if you want to get cyclist insurance, just to make sure, because don't get me wrong, if something happens when you're running or riding a push bike and you break something, you still have to pay for that. There is no, oh, you don't have to pay for it. It's, no, you still have to pay for it. It's just you haven't got insurance, so you're going to have to take that money out of your account and pay for it, basically, under the Criminal Damage Act. And if you refuse to pay for it, you could almost get done for like criminal damage, essentially, and then they'll be taking it out of your wages weekly after a court case. That's what will happen to you. At the moment, you can get cycling insurance for about £15 a year. I mean, that's not too bad at all, really. You can also go for British cycling and things like that, but regular, there is actually insurance you can buy for £15 a year, which is definitely recommended, just in case. Particularly if you do a lot of cycling. I mean, if you do commuting every day or whatever else. But for the average person that rides their bike to the pub once, maybe every 3 months or whatever, then realistically it's just going to put people off, isn't it? Let's be honest here. You're not going to. It's another thing. It's another obstacle to think, oh well, I have to go and get insurance for my push bike. I have to register my push bike. I have to have a number plate on my push bike, and it just kind of takes away from the whole, make it, it's just a more aggro. It's more of a pain in the backside. Push bike's been around for well over 100 years. There's never been a real problem, in the last 100 years. I mean, it's if you can't, let's be honest here, if you can't overtake a push bike with a car, I mean, I've obviously had loads of cars, cars, bikes, whatever, loads of different vehicles. Push bikes are really easy to overtake. Just literally, round, gone. It's when there's some muppet doing bleeding 45 in a 60 that grinds my gears. It's people doing bicycle speeds in cars that's really my, oh no. It's usually something awful like a Kia or a Nissan Micra or a Nissan Juke or, any one of those NPC type cars. The sort of thing you get for free at a company you work for, and even then if you're offered it, you're just like, nah, I would rather ride a bicycle than drive something that terrible. Be seen dead in anything like that. yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just, they're really trying to push this sort of like anti-cyclist agenda, in my opinion. Well, on one hand, they've given cyclists sort of more rights with the whole, well, just a couple of new highway code rules, which are kind of dumb when you think about it, because yes, you have more rights, but you're also more likely to become a cropper trying to implement those rights. They just don't follow common sense. And so in my opinion, if cyclists need insurance, then pedestrians need insurance. 'Cause let's be honest, cycling is just an extension of the human body. It's just literally, it's powered by your legs. Alright, you have e-bikes, but most illegal e-bikes, which we'll talk about here, are basically, again, an extension of the human body. They just put a bit of assistance in because the people riding them don't have that power on their own, so it just gives them a bit of assistance. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's just ridiculous. Cyclists and insurance. Well, make walkers, pedestrians, dog walkers, mobility scooter users, make them have insurance as well. Especially walkers. Anyone walking without a dog, yeah, definitely make them have insurance, because, they're just NPCs at the end of the day. Right, thank you for watching.